silence of the night, where the echoes roar, marching through the shadows, we're fighting a silent war. Wounds that you can't see, scars that run so deep, for the heroes on the edge, can't you hear them weep? Lost in a memory, where the battles rage, fighting through the darkness, locked inside a cage. Save 22, we scream it to the sky, for the fallen and the broken, we're never asking why. Save 22, in the night we call, for the warriors who fallen, we're breaking down the wall. In the heart of the struggle, we stand strong and true. Save 22, this song is for you. Whispers in the dark, where the shadows dance, for every soul that's broken, we're giving them a chance. Heroes left behind in a battle of their own, in a world that's forgotten, they're standing all alone. The weight of the world, in the silence they scream, fighting through the darkness, chasing fading dreams. Save 22, hear the rallying cry, for the lost and the lonely will stand and defy. Save 22, in the night we call, for the warriors who fallen, we're breaking down the wall. In the heart of the struggle, we stand strong and true. Save 22, this song is for you. In the silence they scream, fighting through the darkness, chasing fading dreams. Save 22, hear the rallying cry, for the lost and the lonely will stand and defy. Save 22, in the night we call, for the warriors who fallen, we're breaking down the wall. In the heart of the struggle, we stand strong and true. Save 22, this song is for you. So here's to the brave, to the scars unseen, to the battles they fought and the places they've been. Save 22, let the anthem ring, for the fallen and the lost and the hope we believe.
Hey, so that was the Save 22 song that Albert found through AI. This guy, Greasy, we asked, it's AI created. It was created last year, and we thought it was pretty cool, so we put it on there. Let us know what you think. Hit us up in the comments somewhere, however we do that stuff. Oh, great. Albert can't hear me. That's wonderful. All right. Can you hear me now? 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 Hello. Well, this is great.
You hear me?
I can hear. Yes.
I can't hear you, bud. Let me
You talk.
Let me see what I can do. I can't hear you at all. You're saying you can hear me, so morning. I'll keep talking, I guess. Gotta love this stuff, John.
Yeah, it's great. Can you hear me yet?
We tried jumping out and coming back in, bro.
All right, bro. You do your thing. I'll be back in a minute. Can you anybody hear me? This is not good. Not good. Okay, how about now? Okay, how about now? Yes, maybe. Hello? Albert? Albert?
Dang it. I've got nothing, John.
Wow. All right, we're going to back out and
That's
start
funny,
all over.
Chuck.
Wow. I don't know what's going on. Wow. Put your hearing aids in. Great song. I have a Chuck Hook said he can hear me.
Bruh, I got absolute zero on my end.
Who can hear me? Who cannot hear me? Somebody talk to me. Comments in the page, please, to let me know if anybody can hear us. Karen says she can hear both. So we're going to go ahead and continue. I don't know why Albert can't hear me, but good morning. It is the 1st of April, 2025, and typically known as April Fool's Day. Does anybody know why it's known as April Fool's Day? Here's some useless knowledge for you. Back in the 1500s, they changed the calendar from the start of the year to from April 1st to January 1st. Some people still believe that the year started on April 1st, so they were called fools. Hence, April Fools. So there you go. You got your useless knowledge for the day. This guy Foe, I can't even see who that is, and Steve Plazo, and everybody says that they can hear us, so we're going to keep going. Today, we are going to talk about our experience at countersteerlife.org, and I will put a caption up in here real quick for these guys. Excuse me, that one came out of nowhere. So, countersteerlife.org is an organization, a nonprofit founded by, where did it go? Countersteerlife.org. There it is. So, this is a nonprofit run by professional motorcycle instructors, former national champions in all sorts of motorcycle racing, all sorts of disciplines, both in the street, on the dirt, or on the street and in the dirt, whatever. Dave Cryer, Mark Winters, Cupcake, all those guys down there were just absolutely incredible. And I got some pictures, and I don't know what happened to our buddy Albert over here, but he kind of disappeared. So let's see if I cannot attempt to do this by myself. And we will see what happens, shall we? So we're going to open up some stuff here, and we're going to see what we got going on. We had taken a veteran with us. We went from here down to an event in Parkersburg with the 67 Ryan Roulette car truck in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and his ARCA car. Let me rephrase that. No, it was just the ARCA car. The ARCA car was down at the Parkersburg event. They went to a truck series this weekend. That's what it was. So we did this Parkersburg event down in West Virginia. It was at a Albert's back. Let's see if we can get him back on. Albert. Look on your right-hand side under your stuff. You might have me muted.
Got it. Something just popped and it
I
came
heard
on.
it now. Now it popped in.
Yep, we're good.
All right, we're back on. So I was just trying to get through this whole Parkersburg thing. You threw me through a loop. Man,
Sorry.
that was crazy. That's all right. Let's see if we can't add some images here. How do I do this? No, that's wrong. Anyway, we did this Parkersburg event. It was a welcome home ceremony for Vietnam veterans. And boy, let me tell you what, those guys, to sit and hear some of their stories about how they came back compared to how you and I came back, man, wow. You were Storm 1. I was in tech school during Storm 1 and went to a unit that had just gotten back from the war. And dude, the reception those guys got was, I was like, wow, this is crazy what we're getting. You know, free access everywhere, like Disneyland and all them theme parks and restaurants were giving 25-50% off, and there were parades and welcome homes and flags and everything. And them poor guys from Vietnam, dude, they got shit on. There is no doubt in my mind they got shit on. And you know, to be told to not wear your uniform in your own country, just, I mean, I've had to not wear my uniform to go into certain places because, you know, we had to do work and stuff and we weren't supposed to be military. Like, yeah, right. You can't tell us apart. But to have those guys be told that after doing, some of those guys did a year, 2 years, 3 years over there, and to come back and be told that crap, man, it just, I can't imagine. So to have that kind of, I don't, what word do I call it? Welcome home, essentially. I
Yeah.
mean, to have all
Yeah.
those guys around, right, and to be able to stand
Right.
down there and talk to them, and boy, we had some impacts, and we took our boy Chops with us, and Chops is one of those veterans that struggled, and he struggled a lot with a couple things. His story, right? We can let him tell it when he wants to come on, but um, we figured, hey, you need to come with us down to this motorsports event, right? So you need to come down to counter steer. But there's a hitch. You got to stay at my house the night before. You got to get up 6 o'clock in the morning. We got to get on the road. We got to go do this Parkersburg event. You get to see Safe 22 in action. And then you got to have 6 hours in the truck with me.
I'd have bounced. Just
You'd have
saying.
bounced. And we did it, right? And he said, I'll do it. And his wife called and said, thank you for taking him. I want to let everybody know that Chops didn't come up and just say, this is what's wrong with me, right? Chops did exactly what a lot of us have done, which is, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's happening, but I don't like it. Can you help me? Bro, let's talk. Let's figure
Yeah.
it out. Let's
Yeah.
figure it out. Uh, and for him, it was his stuff, right? It's his stuff, his shit to deal with. So we'll let him talk about it. But what that did for him was, as soon as he said that, it put me back right to where I was, that I don't want to go back to. And the same thing for you too. And that's why I think talking to a veteran who's been through the crap, the shit, the whatever, and I don't know if you want to say comes out the other side smelling like a rose, but is still here fighting it, is still giving it one more day, is still trying. That
Yep.
Those are the
Yep.
guys that we need to talk to. And I think Samson saw that, man, and really just, I couldn't be more proud of that kid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go ahead.
To take it all in, and like, I know him, but I don't know him. But that makes sense. Like, I know who he is. We've seen each other. Hey, what's up? That type of deal. But like, to spend time with him, with Chuck, with you around the fire,
With
listening
us,
to,
just all together.
yeah, just listening, letting yourself be vulnerable with other people. Um, there's a lot of power in that. We had a gentleman show up second day, had no clue what was going on, and you know, he was like, "Well, what's going on here?" Like, it was a unique experience. Counter steer was very unique. From my side, not being able to ride, watching, and just seeing the confidence with the skills that they were teaching, right?
Right.
And to watch specifically Chops, right? Because we had a connection there. So you're watching him. You want to see him do good. You want to see these guys find this, right? And they're coming in and they're diving into that corner and throwing that elbow up and getting that bike to almost be on the verge of out of control and trusting enough that it's going to snap back, because it will, right? And you watch
Hmm.
them come in and fall. Watch them come in and fall. You see the frustration. You see their head shaking when they go away, hitting themselves on the helmet, like hitting the handlebars, and they come back in and they almost get one. Did you kind of see they kind of, and you see the chest come up, and you kind of really watch. And then next thing
I
you
got it.
know,
I got it.
lap after lap after lap, these guys are just nailing it. And then the speeds start picking up, and then they're
Right.
getting after it with each other, right? Just all that confidence that a simple task can show. And Mark and Dave,
They were
phenomenal
great.
teachers, phenomenal teachers.
To take that approach to the bikes and apply it to your life, that's what I saw, right?
Yes.
There was 14 of us, 15 of us day one, I think.
Yeah.
And um, they break you down right off the bat. I mean, it's just like a military style school, right? I'm gonna break you down. What you think you don't know,
Right.
right? You don't
Right.
know shit. We're gonna tell you. And Dave, Dave and I have known each other since 1992 in Osan, Korea, and he's always been around motorcycles. And we were, I think he was like 20, 23 at the time. I was like 21, and we were always about
motorcycles and racing and things like that. And it's different when you're overseas. You can see things a little bit differently. And at 41, at 41, Dave Cryer became a national road racing champion. He said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go out and compete for a championship. And if I win the championship, I'm done. I have nothing else to prove. And that's what he did. And he shows you the bike right off the bat. And he says, this is how you sit on it. This is not how you sit on it. This is where your feet go. They don't go here. This was designed over thousands and thousands of hours and all the years of them. This is what works. This bike right here, these tools work in this configuration. You don't need to change a thing on this bike. You need to change you. You need to change how you sit. You need to change how you run the throttle, run the brake. So to put that into your life, how fast are you going and when do you need to slow down? Right?
Yep.
Go ahead and tell them. Go ahead and tell them what I did. Go ahead and tell them.
So we were up on the flat track section because they teach you how to ride on different terrains, different speeds. They're always doing things to change the track up. They move tires, they change the track, different directions. We move up to the flat track and they're trying to teach going into the corner like a diamond. You go way out wide, cut that angle off of your apex and shoot back. And all that comes from kicking that elbow, a throttle, not letting off, believing in the bike, believing in all that. I'm watching John. John's watching me, and I'm itching. I'm itching bad. But I know that I'm not. John keeps like getting up on the seat, and he's like, I'm going to do it, bro. And I'm like, you're going to hurt. Shouldn't do it. I'm going to do it. I said, shouldn't do it. You're going to hurt. Screw this. He gets up, suits up, gets on the bike, and I told John, like to watch him. I call it washboarding. The handlebars are just kind of, and he's not, you can see him all over the bike, just trying to find that spot, right? And he's doing the diamond, and he's slow, but he's doing it. Dave decides to come up. Dave comes up with him. And next thing you know, you hear Dave, elbow, throttle, brake, elbow, throttle, brake, like all of it, just screaming it. And you see Johnny go from kind of, sitting back to, okay, I'm listening. And then you see him like, now John's not blasting around the track, to be clear.
Yeah, I'm not setting any speed records.
No, I don't even know if you dropped your foot, to tell you the truth. I can't remember that much, but John does some laps.
All I had to keep that bike up. Be quiet.
So Dave and John are out there riding, right? And I grab a few pictures in the video because I thought, how cool was that Dave saw John was up there, left what he was doing, come flying up the hill, doing his Kreider wheelie up the hill, sets it down and goes over and starts helping John, right? And then you see this moment, and I caught it, where Dave and John are sitting there backs towards the track, and they're kind of looking there, and Dave just reaches out, right? And that moment, man, for me was what it's all about.
You got that picture? I don't know where that picture's at. Do you have it? Let me share it. It's pretty cool. And what I'll say to that is, that's our
slow
ego.
boy.
Slow boy, yeah. F you, Chuck. Taking instructions from someone who's been there and done that, and it is the professional, right? What my ego, my arrogance said, I'm going to keep up with Dave Cryer, right? I know Dave. I've taught Dave. Okay, I might have taught Dave a few things. I never taught Dave on a motorcycle, right? Dave taught me.
Yeah, bro, right? You ain't keeping up with Dave.
I ain't keeping up with Dave. It ain't happening, right? It ain't happening. But, one thing that did for me was twofold. Number one, it assured me or validated me selling my motorcycle back in whenever I sold it, December or January, for the simple fact that my body was not comfortable on the motorcycles after 15, 20 minutes. It's just not, right? And you and I talk a lot about that with pain psychology and things like that, but we won't get into that. So to get back on that bike, number one, to prove to myself that I don't need to be on a motorcycle, right? And then B, just prove that I could do what he was saying he was doing. And to take instructions from someone who knows what they're talking about, which I think is exactly why Save 22 works. the 5 or 6 people that we have involved that have done the majority of our events and our programs are individuals who are willing to share their darkest times and how they got out of it for the simple reasoning of not letting someone else feel that way
Yeah.
again. Right? I see it on you. I see the way you hold your body. I hear the words that you're saying, bro. I've got some tools. Check this out. Right? And that's all Dave said. I see
Yep.
how you ride. I see
Yep.
what you're doing. These are the tools that work. Try this. Man, I got absolutely floored that weekend.
Yeah.
And Chuck, hey, F you, Chuck. I love you,
Yeah.
but F you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck made the line standing down there at the track, and he said, how long are you going to keep doing keep using Save 22 events to mask your own shit? Ouch. Ouch. Right? And he's not wrong. He wasn't wrong. You, me, him, we all do it. We all do it. That is why we're still doing these things, right? Because we have our own things to work out. And I really think that weekend was a big stepping stone for myself, right? To see what I was carrying and why I was carrying it. And I need to let some shit go,
Yep.
right?
Yep. We go back to how cool was that too? And I got to add this in because what you just said triggered my brain and it's bouncing. How cool is that we had another motorcycle relief project alum at the ride as well?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and we're introducing ourselves, and I'm talking about, my love of motorcycles, how I, miss it, how I wanted to ride. We talked about motorcycle relief project, how I rode in a sidecar. And when I was sitting in the sidecar, I told Mike Bobbitt, I said, well, I got to hold on and let go. And he kind of looked down at me and he goes, what? And I said, got to hold on and let go. I
Gotta hold
can't
on
do
to
a
let
damn thing
go.
but sit here and ride. That's all I can do is sit here and ride. I'm trusting you. Right. And you want to talk about a profound statement, right? And
Right.
and then when I said it, I look at Dave and I look at Mark, and they're kind of like, "Yep," you got to hold on, but you got to let go of everything you know. You do. You got to let go of your way of thinking, your masking, your all of it. You got to use your tools, which again that weekend showed me that I need to use my tools. I need to use that cane. That cane helps me keep my balance.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
becoming part of my daily routine, right? Moving forward, using the rollator, going on walks around here. I'm learning that those tools allow your brain to relax, allows your body to relax because it's a natural walk with the rollator. It's like pushing a buggy in a grocery shop. It just they're tools, man. And that's all Dave and Mark were showing you is you have the tools. You have the perfect tool right here. All you got to do is use it the way we're instructing you to do it.
It's
And when
intended to be
everybody
used.
started, and when they started clicking, man, it was so cool. And then Sunday, the free ride day, that was awesome. That was awesome. They have a section that's kind of like Laguna Seca, but it's on dirt with the drop in it. And,
Yeah.
to
It's a mirror
watch,
image. It's pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. And then to watch them come down and then back through it. And, you see them all just kind of putting that elbow up, and then Mark's standing down there and he's got his stick and he's tapping them on the elbow as they're coming around, and you see him start raising that elbow, right? And then next thing you know, you see that bike start diving in, you see that bike snapping back, you see the confidence, you see the speed pick up. It's just we have all these tools, like Chuck said, and then we mask ourselves. Oh, we don't need it. I don't need to take that pill today. I don't need to do my PT today. I don't need to stretch today, right? And then that puts you in a spot. Then you start spiraling. All counter steer is doing is saying, hey, we're using this tool that we have, the knowledge that we have to give you information to show you that this can be done. That's all they're doing.
That's
And it's
it.
phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
When you slow down to go fast.
Yeah, he said it.
He
You
said it.
have to
He
slow
also
down to
said,
go faster.
what's the most important part of the corner, the entry, the middle, or the exit? And his comment is always, it's always the exit of the turn. It doesn't matter how you got in or what you're going through. It's how you get out of that corner and head to the next deal. And you know what? That's the same shit that you and I talk about in our life, right? In what we've gone through. I don't care how you got in it. I want to see you get out of it.
Right.
And the best way to get out of it is full throttle straight line, right? And you leave it back there. And Dave also talks about the position of your head, right? And what you're looking at. If I'm looking at my corner, I can't see where I'm going over here. So I'm 1,000 times slower. If I turn my head at the right time, the bike will follow me and it'll come right up, right? If I turn my head at the right time, the bike will follow and come back up into me. And it's it's when you slow down, it's when you make your head turn and then you apply your go, right? And you need to do that in life too. I do, at least, right? To look back and analyze, how fast are you going? Are you going too fast? Meaning, are you trying to do too much? Right? Do you have the mental capacity, the physical capability to do all these things that you're saying yes to, or do you not?
Right.
And the really hard part is saying I don't have it anymore. Right? I cannot continue this pace. I cannot
Yep.
continue all the things that I'm doing. Right? I have to take care of myself. You yourself said it. You take sometimes an hour to get out of bed because you're so stiff and sore that
Yeah.
you have to stretch in bed, and then you have to go do a certain amount of stuff before you can even leave your house because that's
Right.
how it is.
Right.
I think a lot of us think, I know I do. I think I can continue on just like I did before, which is wake up 5 minutes before I need to be there and drive 30 minutes and I'm good. And that's not how that works anymore, right?
No,
It's
it's
just
not.
it don't work like that. You can
No.
think I can do it now. I can sit back and go, I used to get up, get up at half an hour before I'd have to leave. And a half an hour was plenty.
Yep.
I can't do it in an hour now, right? I physically cannot move as fast as I used to, and
Right.
trying to keep going that fast is causing nothing but exits to the turn problems, right? Because you can't get enough traction to get to the next assignment, and you can't get your self set up right for the next corner. So you're screwing up the one corner, actually screwed up 2, 3, and 4. Right? So if you can make that first turn okay, you're set up better for the second turn. And now that first turn's behind you, let's focus on the second turn. And for me, man, I was holding on to way too much shit, rehashing conversations, redoing things, going too fast, trying this, trying that, when the reality of it is I don't have to prove anything to anybody but myself,
Oh,
you know?
and
And
you
and
and you
and
found
getting
your limit.
I found my limit. It will not be on a motorcycle from that. Maybe my scooter, maybe my scooter from now on, but I found my limit, right? And
Yeah.
it is not on a motorcycle. You
Right.
know, all the things that they were trying to tell us to do, I couldn't make my lower body or left leg do in a time frame commensurate with how fast my brain was working. Right?
Yeah.
My brain works way faster than my body does now, and I
Yeah.
can't make it do those things. And it's dangerous to keep that up. It
Yeah.
is dangerous. And that is what Dave and Mark and all the guys at Countersteer really helped me understand, right? Is that, bro, you are not who the fuck you think you are,
Mm-mm.
right?
Nope.
Adapting is my biggest failure, Steve Plaza. Well, Steve, your biggest failure right now is calling yourself a failure. That's number one. So you and I have had that conversation 1,000 times. Got to change them words, bro. Got to change them words.
Yeah.
You've already identified the problem. You know what you need to do to fix it. So A, stop talking about it, and B, start doing it. That would be a Jason Rutledge hacker to Flyboy comment. I
And
believe it was about June 21st of last year when he handed me that one.
yeah. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy, like Steve's saying. We're our own worst enemy.
Hypercritical.
We self destruct ourselves. All of us do it on some level, you know. And again, I learned over the course of that weekend too, it's words. It's words. It's not I can't. It's not I can't. Is if I do it, I know my limitations. I can do it. Does it take longer? Do I need help? Do I have to take breaks? Sure. That's just the way life is now. And you know what? Nothing wrong with that. There's not. It is what it
No,
is. It is what it
no.
is.
And
You know, and
I think we're like, stop beating yourself up. You're
yeah,
beating yourself up by beating yourself up.
yep. Lean on, you know, when you're having those days, like I'm lucky enough, man. I've got a pretty solid circle, right? Um, you know, and sometimes people in your circle start to struggle a little bit. Things happen. You know, be sure to reach out, man. You know, pick them up a little bit. We could all use a little bit of that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's remember, you know, what do you call it? A compliment sandwich,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Try that compliment sandwich, right? So many times when we're talking to these vets, they get stuck in the negative, me included. I mean, you included, right? Constantly, you and I are back and forth with, bro, why are you stuck on that? Right? Like, let's look at this side of it. And we'll
yep,
switch that negative over to a positive, and all of a sudden you're like, man, it's really not that bad. No, it's not really that bad, right?
yep.
It's typically you and I having unrealistic expectations of ourselves and others, right? And then when we talk
Right,
it out with each other, we realize our reality in our head is not reality,
right, right,
right? That's what having that 3 a.m. friend means. It's not, hey man, I'm about to hurt myself. I need you to come over. It's I need to bounce this off of you because this is what's bothering me, and I don't know if it's true or not.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well, I like what Chuck says. It's funny how those circles know when there's a problem.
right,
You know, yeah. It's
right,
it's it's it's
yeah, f you,
yeah.
yeah, f
You
you
know,
for finding me. You know,
and again, counter steer does all these things. It teaches you slow down. You'll get there, and you'll probably get there a lot faster if you slow down and use your tools.
yeah,
So
bro,
again,
yeah,
you
bro.
know, camaraderie, the team building. We saw the the number
Go
22
for it.
bike. The number 22 bike crashes right in front of us, literally at our feet.
Oh,
You, you,
was that Jonathan?
me,
Slam!
yes.
You heard the air leave his body.
The end of the handlebar caught him right in the chest plate and just took the air out of him. Caught him just right. And before we, myself, you were on the track like before I could even get down there. I was on my way down. Chuck's like got his hand on my back, kind of. We're coming down over the little dip coming in. Dave Cryer comes flying up, like 4 guys instantly, right? Are you good? The other riders stopping, you know, check on him. They're yelling, "You good?" when they go by, right? And he wasn't good because he couldn't talk
He was
because he
good.
didn't have
Good
any
talk.
air. He's like,
Just a second.
but you know, again, that camaraderie, man. Somebody goes down and there were instantly everybody there. And as we're talking to this guy, we find out that he's a singer and he sings for an organization I'm not going to mention because I don't know if we should or not. But anyway,
He's a
and then
songwriter. We're just calling. He's a
yeah,
songwriter.
and
He's
he
a jack of all
shared,
trades. He's
yep,
phenomenal. Great dude.
he's a phenomenal dude, and he shared some of his music with us. Um, we were able to share one live, and there's some other songs that he has that will be coming out, and
Yeah, I just went through
just
my files, and it turns out I took more movies than I did pictures.
yeah, there was a lot of that. But you
There
know,
was a lot of that.
again, that camaraderie, that team building. Somebody falls down in your circle, right? Because that was our circle for the weekend. That was it. We had those 14 guys, right? And everybody took care of everybody. It was
Yeah.
cool. It was, and again, goes back to what we said earlier. Check on your circle, man. Check on people outside your circle, right? We always do it on the 22nd, but how many of you out here honestly just reach out once in a while to somebody maybe you haven't talked to that's on the fringe and said, "Hey, man, you good?"
Hey, bro, you crossed my
You know,
mind.
and
Just want to
I'm
make
guilty
sure
of it
you're
too.
okay.
I'm guilty of it too. I am.
Absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know, but
The thing is, man, you got to get the shit that's on your head out of your head. I
you
don't care
do.
what it is. I don't care
Yep.
what it is.
Yep.
It's got to come out of your head, or it's going to come out in a bad way.
Hmm.
And
I just saw what Karen said. conversation with you yesterday helped me like no other. Karen, love you, sis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daylight,
Damn
Atlas
onion
Falls,
ninjas.
Damn Onion, Daylight, Atlas Falls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it,
There's
Karen.
just,
Why you got to do that to us?
yeah. Hmm.
No. Big shout out to Karen and Mike Harmon Racing. They were at Martinsville this weekend and ended up missing the show. They didn't get to race. But you know what? In consummate Mike Harmon fashion, they still got our veterans into the track, right?
They did.
They got to be there. Big shout out to Ryan Roulette as well, who made his Truck Series debut in the number 67 truck for Freedom Motorsports, right?
Believe so,
I
yes.
think so.
Yeah.
Not the outlook, not the finish they wanted. They had struggles from the beginning, ended up way down, and I think they ended up having to park it.
Yeah.
Um,
And we need to be very clear too. All of these things that are happening is because of the relationship and partnership we have with Mike Harmon and Karen. It's true,
it is
right?
true.
And that's what's
The
allowed
access
us.
that yeah, in the
It's
10 years.
allowed us team bonding with other teams, other drivers, other opportunities. And Mike and the whole team have been very gracious about go forth, like push your mission, push your mission, push your mission. It's always about the mission with them, and that's something unique too with the partners that we have. And I can't talk more
Can't
highly
stress it
of.
enough.
I
Can't stress
can't.
it
I
enough.
can't. And people really need to pay attention when they're at the track or at an event. Like Dave Kreider in this counter steer. We had no idea, bro. It's like 2 hours from me,
Yeah.
right? It really is. It's and I hope that we can form that partnership with them through conversations we've had. It would be phenomenal to be able to have a working relationship back and forth. I hope it happens. But Lex June's another one. Just like Mike, what can we do to help? What can we do to help?
Yeah.
And when you have people like that, when those are the first words out of their mouth, not about it's X amount for tickets and decal and all this. It's never been mentioned ever.
No, nothing.
It's
Never been mentioned.
what can we do to help? What can we do to help? Okay, how many vets you got this week? All right, we're going to work with so and so. We'll get the name on the car. It's just I can't speak highly enough about the people we're working with, all of them. And I don't want. I mean, we're missing out on so many people. The car community down here, Ohio, Sam Center. I mean, all these people that are there as a partner that will help.
That
It's
are
incredible,
just pick up the phone and ask. Hey,
right?
I need some help with this, and it's not a personal ask; it's a Save 22 ask. Well,
Right.
okay, now it's a personal ask. Now I have a
Yeah.
personal ask. I'm screwed
Right.
up, and I did too much. Can you help me? Yep. What you got?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
We
What you
had
got?
we have a unique experience this weekend for some racing. Don't want to get too much into it, but it's a unique experience. And again, Karen did what she could do. And like Johnny just mentioned, we reached out and we were able to make some things happen. And we got a couple vets going to the track in Darlington, which is
We do. We have
phenomenal.
2 veterans going to the track.
Yeah. And
Darlington weekend.
somebody's taking care of it for us, which is greatly
Somebody
appreciated.
anonymously
Great.
took care of it right now. I don't know if I can mention it at the time,
I
but I'm not going to. An individual that we have met through Mike Harmon, again, Mike Harmon, had made a mention. Hey man, whatever you guys need, just don't be afraid to ask. And you know what? A lot of people say that. I want to be clear. A lot of people say that. Hey, what can I do to help you? Hey, what can I do to help you? And when you ask for it, it's far beyond their scope of anything that they're capable of doing. But we
right.
had to ask, right? And it's not their fault. It's just they're not capable, right?
Right.
So they didn't quite understand what they were saying, what they were asking, and what we needed.
Right.
This young man, hey man, I need a favor, not personal, but for Save 22. Can you help? 5 minutes. I can look on my phone and show you how long it took for him to say, let me check, and how he had it answered yes. And we got it handled in, I think it was 5 or 6 minutes.
It was
that
quick.
fast.
It was
And
quick.
that's the type of people, or the kinds of exposures, the kinds of partnerships, the kinds of friends, whatever you want to say, that we have been exposed to because of Mike Harmon, right? And I'll go one step further. It's because we decided to get out of our own shell. Okay. Let's be very clear here. You and I were not in a great frame of mind when Save 22 found us.
No.
We were not well. You were
Mm-mm.
4 or 5 years post accident. And I
yeah.
had just attempted suicide. So neither one of us were doing very well.
No,
When we found it.
just had lost a teammate. Literally right when I got the phone call. Crazy again how stuff works, man.
Yeah.
You know, drinking a lot, pills are still a problem. You know, yeah, it's crazy how
Everything
things work,
happens
man.
for a reason, guys, and you probably don't see it when it's happening. It's once you're through it and your mindset has changed a little bit about that experience, that's when you can look back and go, I see why that happened now.
Right.
I see what you've done for me. I seen
Yep.
how this has helped.
Yep.
Right. I will say too that our boy Chops toughed it out. That boy,
Yeah.
he got rolled up a little bit, and
Yeah.
again, it's our own egos, right? It's our own egos saying we can keep up with national
Yep.
champions.
And-
We've been riding for 20 years. We know what we're doing. And he got humbled. He got humbled hard. And about halfway through the first day, he was done. He got hurt after lunch, I think it was. Rolled up. And the bad thing for Samson, he was saying, nobody saw me crash. I said, why does that bother you? Like, what's it? You crashed. It hurts. And he goes,
I wanted
yeah,
to see how cool it was.
but I want to know if it's as violent as I feel like it was, or if I'm just being a puss. I'm like, you crashed a motorcycle. Okay, it doesn't matter. You
It hurts.
crashed a motorcycle.
You know, and what was cool then too is like you would watch Mark and Dave ride with some riders, like get with them, let them pass, and then you would hear them, brake, gas, elbow, brake, yelling as they're behind him, and then you'd watch the speed because Dave always explained it. When you come out of that corner, it's a drag race to the next corner. You have to forget everything. You have to forget everything that happened, went bad, whatever, in that last corner, and you need to go as fast as you humanly can go to that next corner and do it all over again. And then do it all over again, and then do it all over again, right? So you watch Dave riding and pushing these guys, and Mark pushing them, and some of these guys could ride. They could ride. And then you see Dave and Mark go to that next level, and it's like, all right, and you just, I can't describe for me the happiness you see when you see somebody get it, and when you see the confidence, and you see the conversation from the first night to the second night to when we left. The confidence just through the roof, and the sharing of phone numbers and the texting and the, hey man, keep in touch with me. Okay, no problem. Yeah, right. And you're getting text messages, right? Hey, how you guys doing? What's up? You guys gonna be back? What's available for motorsports? What do you guys got coming up in the area again? So
we've talked
cool
about it a lot. You've said it yourself. When we take these veterans out on these diversion therapy excursions, it's not in the hopes that they'll pick up our phone number and they'll call us all the time.
Right.
The hope is that they find someone that they can share their shit with.
Yep.
That's the hope. And what we found is through you and I at Motorsports, you've already got a commonality of motorsports, right? It's already there. So the rest of it's just going to come naturally, right? You're already standing over a car, you're standing in the pits, you're watching a race, whatever you're doing, you've already got that common interest, right? Now you find out you were both in the Army, or in our case down in Atlanta, you find out he was there tending a sub in the Gulf as you were walking into Kuwait.
Yeah.
Right. And, well, Chuck's story.
That's what I was going to say.
So Chuck's story, I've known Chuck for how many years, right? And I never knew this. Dave Cryer and I, like I said, were stationed together at Osan in 92, 93. Chuck's injury happened in Osan in January 1993. And Dave and I were both there, and we remember the safety briefings. We remember the incidents. Now, granted, both Dave and I were both pretty hammered for that entire year, but we remember certain things, and the fact that all three of us are sitting there in Salisbury, North Carolina, at Counter Steer Life, and we make that connection, right? All of a sudden, to me, it felt like a flak jacket came off, like a weight of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and one other thing that I think is important for this little story too is everybody's got a job, right? So don't try to justify what you did with somebody else did. You don't owe anybody any explanation for your service. You don't.
No.
And finding out Chuck's job and how it came across to your job, and there's a very strong possibility you two may have actually crossed paths.
Right?
Yes, it's crazy.
It is. It's weird, man. It's really weird. And you and I talk about it all the time, comparisons, right? Comparisons of service, right?
Yep.
We had that conversation this morning. We had an individual approach us for assistance, but they're technically not a veteran because they
Correct.
didn't do what the government says a veteran is, right? 90 days consecutive for anything other than school, right? And then you can become a veteran. If you're a reservist and you don't have Title 5 orders, I don't remember.
What it
Title
is.
5, Title 10.
Activation. I know that.
You have to be activated for something other than annual tour or school, right? So case in point, my dad, 8 years, only did annual tour, never had an activation in the middle of Vietnam, never got called up to do anything. My dad was not considered a veteran, right? Even though he did 8 years, he not a veteran. You can't, Albert said it. Albert said it. You cannot compare your service and what you did to mine. You can't. You were not a cop in the service. You were not a flight engineer. You were not a first sergeant in the Air Force. You were not electronic warfare.
You're
Right?
not a national champion dirt bike rider or a
You're
flat
not a
track
national
racer.
champion dirt bike rider.
I'm not. We don't. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's not the same. Right? We all chose our jobs, guys. We all chose what we got. I mean, some of us didn't get a chance to choose, but you got to choose. Don't compare it.
No.
Don't try to validate your. I'll just say it. You're validating your angriness, your PTSD, your anxiety, your depression by
It's
looking at somebody else's story. It's not the same.
It's been a lot of years of therapy, and I'm having a big mind shift in the way I look at things over the past 2 years,
Yeah.
right? Especially over the last year, for a lot of reasons. And
For a lot of reasons.
And I'm just it's not worth the anger anymore. It's not.
No, it's not.
You got so much bandwidth every day. You know you love that word.
I love that word from you.
You got so much bandwidth. So how are you going to use your bandwidth for a day? You're going to use it being angry at somebody, or are you going to use it to be nice to somebody and maybe get a little joy off of holding the door for somebody and say, hey, how you doing today? Right? Something simple. It really is.
How about we just stick with simple mindfulness that
Yep. And like Josh
number
always says,
one,
mindfulness, always mindfulness.
right? Always mindfulness. Where are you and what are you doing?
Yep.
Right? And that goes for everything. So many of us disassociate, and I know they have these big psychological words, and I got to be honest with you, I never understood what that meant. Right? I really didn't. And you and I have been talking the last week or so about television shows, about how we can't seem to sit and get through an entire show without having to pause, rewind, start over, lose complete train of thought. That is disassociation,
It is.
right? That's disassociation. If you're sitting in a movie and you can't track the movie, that's disassociation. What you're doing is your brain is no longer focused on that movie and being there. You're focused on what you have going on in your head, whether it could be your back pain. It could be I'm trying to coordinate $1 million deal. It could be, God damn it, how am I going to afford that set of brakes?
Right.
It could be anything. If you're disassociating from the task at hand or what you're doing,
Yep.
you need to practice some mindfulness in where you're
Yep.
at, because what it does is, for me, makes me angry,
Yeah.
because what I'm doing is focusing on something that's in the past that I cannot change, or
Right.
something that's in the future that hasn't happened yet.
Yep.
And I'm not focused on F you, Chuck. F you, Albert. Trisha just said it last week. What about me? Now, that's not being selfish. What she's trying to say is, look at how much time and effort you're putting into A and B, and what it's doing to you.
Right.
What it's doing to you. You just went on a weekend trip, and now you're on your second day stuck on the couch because you don't
Yep.
have anything left to do. You can't focus
And
on that. You're mentally drained. You're physically exhausted. How are you going to do this? You're supposed to go to Martinsville on Friday morning and be gone all weekend, and then we're going to turn around, and 3 days later you're going to go to Vegas. What are you going to do for me? You're going to be no good for me. And that's when you have to sit back and go, she's right.
they're right. They're right.
Right. She's right. This isn't about me. Stop making it about me. Right. I don't have to be at all these events. We have other people that can do these things.
We have great
I need to
partners
be here
that
for
can
my wife
handle
and
these
my
things.
kids.
Yeah.
Say again.
We have great partners that can handle it, that allow you to be with your wife and your kids and go have that minute.
Phenomenal people that can go do these things. It doesn't have to be all
Yep.
you and I, right? So shout out to Nick Trussell, number one, for stepping up and representing Save 22 Friday night at the truck race, and then Saturday for the Xfinity stuff. So,
Thank you, Nick.
yeah, thanks, Nick. I really thank you. And I think Nick is Nick stepping up, or are you?
Nick,
Nick. So Nick's actually going to step up and do us another solid on Sunday.
this weekend.
At Darlington. So thank you again, Nick. And boy, I hope we can mention who helped us out here really soon.
I think that's a phone
Let's
call.
wait till after Sunday. We'll wait till after Sunday and
We'll
talk
wait.
about
Yeah.
it.
We'll
wait.
wait.
But hey, we got other things to talk about too.
We do.
And
Hike.
we're at an hour.
Hike.
Yeah, we got to talk about the hike. I don't know where
Yep.
that link went. You sent me the link.
I did. So hike is first Saturday in May. First Saturday in May in Massillon, Ohio. I know that we have several people that have committed. Are we good with the one for sure? Are they coming?
Who? What are you talking about?
Online people? Goat Locker?
Drabick?
Yep.
Oh, Drabick's coming. Drabick's the
Okay.
keynote speaker, bro.
I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
we were good. Yep. Goat Locker is going to be there with I think they're bringing a rig setup so people can see what they actually do. It's
They're
phenomenal.
gonna have the rig. Yep.
Yep. This is actually our 10-year anniversary. It won't be our 10th hike because COVID, but it is our 10th year of being a nonprofit. That's a pretty big deal, man. We were told 3, 5, and 7 would be the toughest years. And they were right. They were right.
They were right, but we made it.
I think we're slowly getting it figured out, but yeah,
Hey,
there's
guys,
your link.
There's your link. So here it is, right? As soon as you click on save22.vet, you're going to get this pop-up right here. Participant registration. Even if you're not going to walk and you just want to come to the event, please click this link. If you want to be a vendor, we're going to shut that off in 1 week, I believe it is.
I believe so.
We still need volunteers to come out. Hey, if you want to volunteer for anything for us, hey, put yourself out there. We have a couple big events we're doing this year that we're going to need 25, 30, 50 volunteers. So please go ahead and fill that out. Once you get through that, here's our newsletter. We're going to start having a newsletter here real soon. As soon as we get that started, I would say by the hike, we should have that ready.
I would like to have one done soon. Yes.
Yes. Fill that out and go ahead and subscribe. Right. Here you go. And our save and hope, mission and vision. Mission and vision. Shield, assist, volunteer, and educate. And then our commitment to hope is our hike, our outreach, our program, and our events. Where we are, when we do it, how we do it. So yeah, please go to www. I don't think I have to say www anymore, do I? Go to save22.vet. It is our age. Go to save22.vet and sign up and go
Yep.
see our
And
hike. We have a
make sure you check out the links on socials. If you're on socials for the hike shirts, those are pre-order. Can't stress it enough. Pre-order only. There may be a few at the hike. Can't guarantee sizes. Can't guarantee anything. If you want your hike gear, go to save22.vet, go to the merch store, and it'll take you right to the hike stuff. It's very, very user friendly.
I am going to go ahead and share our screen with the
Yep.
swag shop at
And there's
Fully
and
Promoted.
there's another partner, Fully Promoted of Canton, Ohio.
Boy, Mike has
Yeah,
been with us from the beginning. So
very, very beginning.
as you can see right here, it states very clearly in big red letters, this is a pre-sale website. It will run until the 20th at midnight.
Yep. And if you click the link,
These are
it'll
our
give you a
shirts.
little. Yep. There you go.
Here's the link. It'll take you right over there to register for the hike.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
So we're
That's
doing a
not what I wanted to do.
special.
Get out
Yeah,
of there.
we're doing a special 10-year anniversary shirt for the hike this year. Not so much a dedicated hike shirt as it is a celebration of our 10th year of being a nonprofit. So that was kind of our thinking this year for the hike. And then next year we will do a 10-year hike shirt since will be our 10th year of hiking. So yeah. And again, Fully Promoted has been with us from the beginning. Mike and the team have done more than we could ever ask for from a partner. They keep treating us right and keep doing good stuff for us.
Yeah, we can't say enough about Mike at Fully Promoted. The Daytona thing. I was just going down to be part of Tiffany, see Tiffany for the weekend and hang out with her crew
How that
and all that
changed.
stuff. And boy, and I called up Mike and I said, Mike, dude, I lost like 50 pounds in the last year, man. None of my shirts, they're all too big. Can you hook me up with some of these? And he said, what do you want? And I said, I need 4 shirts. And he got me 4 shirts in a week and then no charge. Like, bro, come on, let me help you. He's like, my gift. Congratulations on Daytona. Go enjoy it. Right. I mean, those are the kinds of things that it's the little stuff, guys. It's the little stuff. If you open, Dave Cryer, if you don't listen for the whispers, all you'll hear is screams. There are people around you. There are people around you who will help, right? Who will help, who want to help, who want nothing but the best for you, who want you to succeed. So I challenge you to look at your circle. Are you surrounded by negative Nancy's who all they want to do is tell you why something won't work or why it didn't work for them and only want to hold you where they're at? When you listen to those, that's what you will feed. You will feed that negativity and you will stay right where you're at. If you open up your eyes and your ears to the universe around you and those individuals that do want to help, such as Save 22, who want nothing but the best for you, I can't give you money. I can walk you through this. I can help you. I can put you in places that will help you find yourself, get through your shit, help you out, get this done, whatever the word is. Find those people. And then when you pass it and you celebrate it, you need to celebrate with those people.
Right.
And Mike is one of those guys. Mike is definitely one of those guys. So thank you for Mike.
Yeah. And it all goes back to, again, simple little things, man. Like you're saying, we overcomplicate so many things in our heads, and we just don't slow down, use our tools, listen for the whispers, because you never know. That subtender when you were at King Fahd Air Base off the coast, you have no idea, right? You have no idea. You have no idea what he did for whoever he did it for. You have no idea what the King Fahd guys did for whoever they did. You never know, right? So again, I always go back to simple conversations. Do something nice for somebody without expecting nothing in return, as Kyle Kellinger always says.
Kyle always says that. Hey, Kyle's coming, by the way. I think Kyle's coming to the hike.
He is coming. And there's a special surprise this year. We'll just leave it at that.
From Kyle or for Kyle?
From Kyle, for us. You'll see.
Kyle for. All right, whatever you just said. All right,
It's a
cool.
good word salad.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Thank you very much. Good stuff. Hey, what else do we need to talk about? We did the motorcycle relief stuff, or we did the motorsports.
Yep.
Man,
Yep. The
what do
hike,
we have coming on?
counter steer, the hike were the two big ones. Coming up, I know we have something going on in Darlington this weekend for sure.
We
Thanks
do.
to
That's
some help.
that's two veterans.
And then April 24th, 5th, 6th, 7th, something like
There you
that,
go.
is
Yep.
the Charlotte Four Wides.
So-
Again, Lex June doing what he does, Lex and Gerda and the whole team. Again, how many vets do you want? Is 20 enough? What? Do you need 20 passes? Well, no, I'm not sure.
No,
So,
I can't
you know,
handle 20
made-
people by myself anymore.
yeah. And through some conversations yesterday, we were able to pick up two more vets to come down. So it looks like we're going to have eight vets,
8 to 10.
and 8 to 10. And I believe that the spouses are going to go as well with those vets, and the spouses, the ladies, are going to go do a ladies' day or two together and enjoy themselves.
Right. Listen, guys, Safe 22.
Something we never thought about, honestly, and they brought it up, and we're like, okay.
It's not just about the veteran, right? Because the veteran has an impact in his own house with his own family, his spouse, his kids. If you look at Albert and I's life, I mean, we could sit here and tell you all the times we've effed up at home
Daily.
with our family daily, right? And a lot of it's in our own heads. We're just not comfortable with ourselves. So come on out, right? Let the women, let the spouses, who, whatever. If you're, I have to be careful because my daughter's a veteran. So,
Right.
yeah, just it affects the whole dynamic of the individual, the family, the job, the
Right.
kids,
Yep.
right? It affects all that. So
Yep.
if you can come out and share that BS, right? If you can come out and talk, if your spouse can come out and talk and go, man,
Yep.
Albert is such an asshole sometimes, and this is what he does, and this is how it makes me feel.
Right.
And then you have somebody else that can come in and go, man, well, John does this thing where he does this.
Yep.
Right. It's probably stuff that we don't even notice that we do or say that really irritates the hell out of them.
Yeah, that happened this weekend. Actually, we went out with Chuck and his lovely wife, and Junior and his bride, and I didn't have all the information for something that happened, and I was a little frazzled, and I'm thinking, why are we doing this when we said we were doing that, and why aren't we here, and we should be there, and I had no knowledge of what was said, and got a little pissy, and
Yep.
I was checked up. So,
Yep.
and I needed to be, and I wasn't being a jerk. It was just, I was like, well, why are we doing this? Why are we this? Like, that's BS. Why? And I couldn't get an answer, or they were trying to give the answer, and I wasn't allowing them to give the answer because I was so spinning.
Locked.
Yeah, I was locked in
Hey,
on
man.
what was going wrong. What is wrong with the situation? What is wrong? Nothing was
Instead of
wrong.
looking at
It was just
what
a
is
change.
going right. Yeah.
Right. And I didn't ask for all the information. I assumed that I had all the information, and I did not. So
we all know what happens when you assume.
and that happened. So again, slowing down. And it
Enter the turn.
Enter the
exit
turn.
the turn.
Keep the elbow up.
Listen for the whispers.
Throttle through. Listen for the whispers. Feel it. Let things get almost out of control, and it'll snap back.
And it'll snap right back. But you got to trust it. And if you're not trusting the process, you're not trusting yourself, then we need to talk, right? If you're not trusting yourself, we need to talk.
Yep.
Right? What's
Yep.
going on? What's happening?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Tell me all of it. Tell me all of it, and we will get to the end of it, right? We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll figure it out. One step at a time, though, guys. One step at a time.
Yep.
Listen, I've been without alcohol. It'll be 17 years in
Good for you.
right? 17 years without alcohol. That does not mean all my problems went away when I quit drinking, right? The problems that went away were the problems that I induced by drinking. But the thinking did not change.
Right.
Right? It was still a very selfish, self-centered, arrogant, narcissistic attitude on why things were happening to me without looking back and going, you put yourself here.
Yep.
This is what's going on, right? Where are you? You and I had a great discussion about Sergeant Wooden and Sergeant Moser,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
okay that Sergeant Moser and Sergeant Wooden are in there. It
Yep.
really it is, because
Yeah.
there's a time and a place for it. Where it doesn't need to happen, where it doesn't need to be Sergeant Moser and Sergeant Wooden, is inside the house, right? Is inside the house. And I know I'm pretty sure you as well, because we fucking share a brain cell. We do that. We tend to bring Sergeant Moser and Sergeant Wooden back into our own house. And it's not the way that works, right? And we're trying to make Sergeant Moser, Sergeant Wooden work in the house. We're trying to make the first sergeant work in the house. The tactical response SP to work in the house. Bro, there's nothing that shit will work on in this house. It will
No.
not.
No.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Nothing. I'm
Mm-mm.
curious. It's kind of funny. There's only 3 people watching right now, and I think 2 of them are us. So I wonder, is this ever going to get out? Is anybody going to hear this? I don't know.
Doesn't
But
matter.
you and I are going to hear it,
Yep.
right? And it's going to be there. And one of these days, our kids or our wife is going to find this, and they're going to be like, "Click, look, watch. You said
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Stop
Yep.
acting like Sergeant Moser. Stop acting
Yep.
like Sergeant Wooden. I want
Yep.
Al. I want John. I want that
Yep.
guy."
And it's as simple as that too. It is. And I'm learning it. I'm learning it. I'm still learning it.
I'm there's an art to slowing down. You've been retired now for 15 years.
2000, yep, it'll be 15 years this July that I have
And it
not
was,
been able to
yeah, it's been a
do what I
work.
want.
It's been a battle for you, right? Something
Yeah.
you never planned on having to do or go through or anything. And
Bro,
I'm there,
at
right? It's been a
55,
year.
at 55, I was ready. At 55, that was the goal. 55 done, right?
Yeah, me too. That's where I was going. Let me stick it
And
out.
you know what? Stuff happens, man, and 55 turned into 40. Tried to do a few things, when I was able to finally walk again,
Yeah.
and it was just bad days, good days, man. Bad days were outweighing the good days, so that I couldn't keep doing what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't dependable. I wasn't a model employee. I just wasn't, and because of physical limitations, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
So then, it was kind of like, what do you do? Right. And that's kind of when all this stuff started coming together, man. It was weird. It was weird. And then that's when Save 22 come in. But, to the point is, just give yourself a break, slow down, be open to the whispers.
Right. Right. Be open
So
to the whispers.
Yeah. Thank you,
Be
Dave, for
open
that
to
one.
the yeah, thanks, Dave, man. Screw you. But
Yeah.
thank you. I'm learning that right now, right? I was retired in March of last year, and it took 6 months to get the paycheck. Dad died in the middle of it. Had to get I think my nerve ablation happened right after that too. So there was a lot going on in my own head, and trying to learn to back down and relax a little bit, and I couldn't let myself do it. There's too much that I had to do. Let me rephrase. There's too much that I thought I had to do. I was putting off to do, right? And you just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and then it it hammered me. It hammered me, and it just hammered me a couple weeks ago. It took almost 9 months. It took 9 months to realize, hey, you're going too hard,
Yeah.
right? You're going too hard,
Yep.
right? Slow
Yep.
down to go fast,
And
bro. Slow down to go fast.
yeah. And he's so right. Slow down. Look around.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Right. Look
Take
around.
10 minutes for yourself through the day. At some point, take 10 minutes, take your damn shoes off, go out and walk through the yard. Call me crazy, but watch how your attitude, watch how your head think, watch what it does for your body. I'm a big believer in grounding. I'm a big believer in holistic care. I'm a big believer in, your body is in tune with what's happening around you. So give yourself a break. Take 10 minutes, find it somewhere, even if it's in your car, jam it to your favorite song, Karen. daylight.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah. You know, have yourself a cry if you need to, man. Listen.
Absolutely.
Just like I was telling you, I was feeling some sort of way the other day when we were talking about dads and things. You know, I'm lucky enough to have a stepdad that I call him dad. Pick me up, man. You know, 7, 8 years old. Didn't have a relationship with my dad, right? And to allow yourself that time and not be closed off to it like, well, I didn't have my dad. I didn't have my dad. I didn't have that relationship, right? And then
Plenty
I
of other
shared that
people
with
out there.
you. And then I shared that with you what came across. And it was something about dads, right? And I'm like, and we had just talked about that. And I'm like, man, you know, and again, and you
Want me to
and you
share it?
text, go ahead.
Let me do it. So Albert and I were talking about dads, right? And how I lost my dad. He didn't have a relationship with his, and he's got a stepdad. We were just back and forth that day. We were feeling sorry for ourselves. And he had to go out and do something. Oh, you went to lunch. I think you were going to lunch with dad, weren't you?
Yes.
Or no, I think you were going down. And something popped up or it got sent to you, and all it said was, "Dear son, I love you." I can't even do it. I'm
Right.
proud of you. I believe in you. I'm here for you. You're important to me. Love, Dad.
Yeah.
It just popped up. It just popped
Literally,
up.
it just popped up.
Literally. And it puts some perspective in your shit, right? You're searching for what you do to others to show them that you appreciate them,
Yep.
right? I'm searching for the guy that runs across the room, hugs me, high fives me, grabs on, man, I'm fucking proud of you. You know, talk to me the way I talk.
Yeah.
That's not my dad. That's not how my dad did it. That's not how your dad does it. That's not how your stepdad does it, right? The way that they did it, and we had to find that in our own mind. They take you to lunch, right? They drop you a $20 bill. Hey man, put some gas in your truck. Hey
Come
man,
over and pull
here,
weeds for you when you're
come over
not
and pull weeds.
expecting it. Yeah. Come
That's
home
it.
and my weeds are pulled. Really?
Yeah, it's the little stuff, guys. You're so focused on getting the love and attention that you give to others for yourself. It's not going to happen. Nobody shows it the way you do. They just don't. That's just not the way it works. And you know what? If you have to overanalyze like Al and I do, well, hey, come talk to us. We'll overanalyze with you.
Right.
Um, they have their own things, right? And I see it, and I see myself doing it inside my own family, right? Matching their energies, matching how they are. I have to, or if I want to survive or I want to succeed, I have to meet them where they're at.
Yes, you do.
Right? That's
Yep.
where they're at, right?
Yep.
I'm far beyond that, but I was there with you. I know what you're going through in your head right now, but you have to be able to communicate it. I can't make you do it. I can sit here, I can listen, I can take you to lunch, I can tell you my story, I can do all that stuff. You are ultimately the one that has to make that decision. And for whatever reason, you and I, we can talk about it. We struggle implementing it in our own lives, right?
Yeah.
We know what you have to do, we know what you have to not do, and we struggle with it. And they're always there. That stepdad came around at 7 years old. You know, I adopted Tiffany when she was 7,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I told you that story,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
We'll
Yep.
get there. We'll share some stories
Yep.
someday. We are looking
Yep.
for guests, everyone. We are looking for guests. Anybody want to come on, share it? Granted, Albert and I have met a lot of incredible people that really want to come on. Um, but we're doing this a little different. We are not planning or scheduling a weekly Tuesday talk. I want everybody to know that. So this is going to happen when Albert and I can make it happen. It's not uh, it's not going to be a dedicated every Tuesday at 10 o'clock thing because it's too hard for both Albert and I to manage that. So we are going to do what we can do when we can do it. And this is one of our therapies in learning on what we can and cannot do.
Yep.
So this is where we're going to be.
Learning
So
to
that
set. Yeah. Learning
Tuesday
to.
talk at Save 22 right there.
Yep.
That is our email address. Please email us. Tell us
Yep.
what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Constructive criticism only, please. If all you're going to do is be a keyboard warrior, please. So we'll go meet down here at fucking Bolivar Giant Eagle. Dude.
I'm not. I'm
Right.
too old, bro. I'm
Yeah.
too old. I just don't. Yeah, I don't
I
think
don't need
people
that
understand
BS.
that.
I
Yeah,
constructive criticism, guys. If you got a way to help us manage this podcast better, if you know how to do IT stuff and you can make presentations or bring music in and help us out and run the board for us, whatever it is, if you have a check, if you want to send us a check, hey, we'll take it. PO Box
well,
22,
you're really pimping yourself out, aren't you?
Carrollton, Ohio. Yeah. Right? Hey man, you know what? There's 1,000 ways to help, and
There are.
everybody wants to help. So
Yep.
there's 1,000 ways to do it. Number one, listen.
Yep.
Right? Listen
Yep.
to the whispers.
Yep. And Steve just says that one hit home. Over analyzing.
Bro, I told you right off the bat, the first night I met you, I told you, Steve, I can vividly remember 90% of that conversation. I
Right.
really can. Because you said all the same shit I say.
And it's. I think. I think it can be hard for a lot of people to slow down and
Yeah.
and really give yourself a break. Like be
Yeah, be
mindful
happy
of
about it, right?
you know, I had somebody and I can't remember who it was. It might have been you. Isn't this what you've got exactly? You are exactly where you want to be.
Right.
Meaning everything worked out for me and my wife and my family. Everything worked out. We had been wanting to come south, man, and it worked
Yeah.
out, right? The fear of the unknown. Are we doing the right thing? I'm leaving my mom. She was still not doing well, right? My mom's first reaction was, if you don't take this chance, if you don't go move, if you guys don't do it now, you never will. And I could die tomorrow, and I don't want to be the reason you didn't move.
That should have told you everything you need to know right then and there.
And again, the destructive side, the self-sabotage side, and not allowing myself to listen to the whispers, right? What she was saying, what she was really saying. I got caught up in, well, she just said that I'm going to leave her and she could die tomorrow. That's what I got caught up in.
Yeah.
That's
So
not
what
what
am
she
I
said.
going to do? What am I
Right.
going to do? I'm going to
Right.
stay here so I can torture myself just to be here for her.
Right. Because my body just could not do the winters anymore. It just couldn't. I could not. I was not going to lay on the floor for 2 to 3 weeks out of a month. I just wasn't going to do it anymore. So you know what? They packed up everything and they moved down here. And that was their choice. And some people will do that. Some won't. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad, she got some extra time and, now we're down here all close together still. And it's pretty cool.
It is
So
pretty cool,
again,
right? But you got to take that leap of faith, right?
got to take the leap. Sometimes you got to get uncomfortable to become comfortable. And you got to really slow down and listen to the whispers. That's a big thing for me now, is just slowing down, man. I don't have to do all these things every day. My wife, I'm lucky enough, if she comes home and the house isn't burnt down, I've done a good job for the day. I'm joking, of course, but they don't want anything for us other than for us to be the best we can be, right? And whatever that is, it is. And again, we need to be mindful of how others are doing the same thing, right? Just need to slow down, man. I can't keep stressing enough. Slow down, calm your head down,
The brain.
let your brain relax. I was told, and I'll share this real quick, and then I'm done for today,
man.
probably.
Go, bro.
Our brains are like a 2-lane highway, information in, information out. So you've got all this stuff happening back and forth. So when you cloud it or allow other things to come in, imagine a 2-lane road where they're working on a bridge out in the middle of the country and it's a really busy road. Everybody uses it, right? So now you're down to 1 lane. So now you got to sit and wait, right? And you get frustrated sitting and waiting because on the other side of that bridge, things are going to speed back up. Things are going to be good. You're going to get to your destination. And you're stuck at that bridge. You're stuck in traffic. You're mad. You're sitting in an intersection. People are beeping because they want to come. And you're just so mad, right? And your brain's just all negativity, mad. You're not thinking about anything else other than
Being mad.
I'm on a road. I'm stuck and I can't get through. Once you start slowing down, once you start allowing your brain to have a break, once you start listening to things, you start moving up in that line to get to that bridge.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, you get through and it's open. Okay, well, next day I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do that again. So now I'm going to totally avoid it. Well, now the other road's closed that way, and you're really not going because it's a dead end. This is the only way out.
Only way to go.
Okay. So every day I'm going to sit through this. Every day I'm going through this. Now all of a sudden the bridge is open. Instead of a 2-lane road, it's now a 4-lane road, and the bridge is 4 lanes wide, and it's a beautiful drive.
No delay.
No delay. That's what allowing yourself to slow down, to open your mind, to listen to things around you, and use your tools. That's all I can say. Use the tools, slow down, listen, be mindful, as Link always says, be mindful.
It's funny.
And he's right. And he's right.
It is, but where are you? What are you doing? Right? Where are you? What are you doing? And his tools, right, for coping are to doodle. He writes. When he gets something into his head, he has to detach and get it out. So he writes and he doodles, and it's just a little book, but he carries it everywhere, and he knows that that's what works for him, right? I think a lot of us have to figure out what works for us.
Yep.
Right. And that's the hard part, because what used to work for us was 12, 16, 18-hour days, combat zones, deployments, flying,
work,
high speed, low drag shit, right? Getting rip roared drunk and go back to work 3 hours later, right? That's what used to work. Well, it don't work. It don't work anymore. You can't do it. And you have to find that new tool. And whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, I challenge you to find it. You talked about the cane, the rollator, the wheelchair, right? All 3 different tools. You talked about me with the cane, because I don't think I need it, right? I don't think I need it, because I don't know what I'm doing with it. I think I was a lot of pressure, trying to keep the pressure off that hip and that joint in the back. And you explained it to me that that's not the way it's supposed to be, right? That's not how it was designed to be used. You explained it as a brain tool. It's not a leg tool or a back tool. It's a brain tool. And what it does is it forces you to not focus on the pain. You're directing your focus to the loose holding of the cane, right? The moving the cane, the planting of the foot, the surety of the foot, the gait, slowing yourself down, right? All those things. That's what you're looking at. It's not an aid to walk. For me, it's an aid to slow my fucking brain down.
You do.
Right? Slow my brain down, force myself to walk slower, right? Not force myself to power through, which tends to cause more detriment than help. That's a hard one. That's a hard one to understand, right? Well, I can do it. I can power through it. I don't need it. All right, let's look at that, shall we? Give me a weekend when you powered through and didn't do nothing. And how were you? Right?
Yeah.
How were you?
And that's one thing I learned quickly. My buddy John Marine down here lives right down the street. You know, we walk a lot. That's our therapy. You know, and unfortunately that's slowed down some with the cane. And John says to me, he goes, "Why don't you grab that thing?" That's what he says. Thing. Grab that thing. And I said, "All right." So I said, "You know what? I'll do it. I'm going to shut you up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you that walking with this is no better than walking with that. I'm going to show you." Right. And like I mentioned earlier, it's like pushing a damn shopping buggy around the grocery store. You're not thinking. Your gait is naturally straight. You're not thinking about cane. You're not looking down to see where I'm stepping. Like, you're just straight. John told me he noticed when I'm with my cane, I tend to sway. Like, I move a lot. So with that walker, I was straight as an arrow. So for me, I know, much as I hate it, the rollator's probably the better tool. Now, do I need it every time I walk? No. Do I need it if I'm going to be out all day walking or trying to? Probably yes.
Yeah. Right. Am I walking around
Yeah.
the grocery store for an hour? I should probably,
Right.
I need to lean on that buggy. I need to take a buggy with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just simple things like that too. And I can't say it enough. Like today seems like it's all about slowing down because it really is, right?
It is.
Let's
It is.
slow down, use our tools, and we're good.
Yep. Slow down and use them tools.
Yep.
Oddly enough, tools, glasses. I have glasses everywhere, right? Different glasses. Saturday night, I sat on my glasses. I had just started getting comfortable with my bifocals. I sat on them. I broke the shit out of them. God, I just started getting used to them. So I grabbed an older pair, a year old that I got from the VA that are progressive trifocals. Hated them a year ago. I feel like I felt like I was in a fishbowl. Nothing I could look at was crisp or clear. Everything it just wasn't working for me. I put them on yesterday. They work amazing, right? Like I was too fast. I was not using the tool as it was intended to be used. I had to be taught on a different level, right?
Right.
And work my way up to them. Bro, it's guys, we're so hard on ourselves for not knowing everything. Motherfuck, how do you not know what you don't know? God bless it, right? How do you not know what you don't know? Shut up and listen. Let me help you with this.
I'm laughing because of Karen. She said I always hang on to dear life to the cards. Yeah. Yeah. Again, man, tools. And
Tools, man. Tools.
you have to be open. You have to listen for the whispers. You have to slow down. For me.
How many times in your life were you handed a book and said how to do it? Right? Every time in the military, you were given a book, right?
And in college too.
In college. Like,
Yeah.
what did you do with that book after you read it? Chucked it away. Chucked it away. I think I told you this. I sat in a vault for I think it was 2 weeks
You
and
did.
read the classified books, the classified operation of the systems that I was working on before they would let me go out to the flight line. I, I don't know if it was just a hazing incident or see if I would do it, but I read them. I read them.
Right.
That is some dude. If you can stay awake for 20 minutes reading technical classified shit on how this signal does this to go to there to do this to do that, if you can stay awake past 15 minutes, good luck, bro.
Yeah.
But I did it. And then the first time on the flight line, the first time I sign out those books, the first time I carry all these books out. You're like this, you're the new guy, you're skinny, you're scrawny, you don't know jack shit. You're so excited to go get to the airplane. Hey man, what am I doing with these books? Put them down there. Stack them up nice and neat. Stand on them to get to that panel. That's the last time you'll ever open them books. What? Right? They're there for a reason. They're there if you need them, but you need to know how to operate. Right? You need to know how the
Yep.
system really works. That tells you
Yep.
how they designed it to work. You need to figure out how it really works. The books are there to help you when you forget.
Yes, they are.
Tools are there to help you. The
Yes, they
tools
are.
are there to help you. Right? So hey, what's Karen saying now? LOL, my tool. Yeah, we'll talk about that part later. Hey, I want to know how James is doing. What's James up to? Has he got another project there with? Is it Firehawk?
Red Hawk Down Productions is what he has.
Red Hawk Down Productions. Yeah.
And James is gonna be in Charlotte, bro.
Is he? Awesome.
Finally talked. Karen put him on the phone and was like, "James, you need to talk to Albert now." And I presented the opportunity, and I said, "If you want to bring another vet shipmate buddy with you or somebody, come on with it." And he committed to Saturday and Sunday, so he's going to be there 2 days with us.
That's fantastic.
So,
That's
kind of excited about that.
Listen, guys, that's a crazy ass weekend for us. April 24, 25, 26, 27. We have Ryan Reynolds running the ARCA car.
Ryan Roulette.
Ryan Roulette. Say it again. I did it again.
You did it again.
Ryan
You have like
Roulette.
a man crush with him or something.
I do have a man crush on Ryan. Ryan.
I'm not judging.
Reynolds,
whatever.
Hey man, if you ever get this, okay, come talk to us, man. We could use some help, bro.
Everybody knows Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Roulette
yes.
from Ryan Roulette Racing, in the ARCA car at Talladega on, I think that's a Saturday morning event. I got it written on 2 different days there. That's my bad. And then I think Mike Harmon. Well, I know Mike Harmon's going to be trying to get into Talladega. It's his home track. So we should have an Xfinity car that weekend as well. So ARCA and Xfinity in Talladega. And oh, by the way, NHRA Top Fuel Dragster Lex June at Charlotte on the 4 wide.
And
We have an
also by the
opportunity.
yeah,
We have an opportunity for about 40 veterans for that weekend, man. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. And Karen's right. James is getting ready to deploy again.
Another one.
In June. Yeah. So, it's going to be nice for him to have a minute. Just again, like we've been talking, slow down, enjoy the way, enjoy it, be open to some things, share some fellowship, break some bread together. And who knows, man? James has been known to work his way into some spots in motorsports. I'll just say that. So we'll see where it goes, man.
Hang around to be around.
Yeah.
Hang around to be around.
Yep. So, again, just being able to provide these things and oh, by the way, we have another announcement coming up this week.
Is it this week?
It is.
Emailed.
It is. So we've been we'll talk offline. Yeah. So we will have a release this week.
This week?
This week. Yep.
All right. I'm looking for it. I want to see it because I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So this is going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, you do know. You do know. You just need a general reminder. Yeah, you do.
Okay. All right. So
LMF, that should help you out.
got
it now?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. So we're gonna have a pretty big announcement. And we're actually gonna be doing a huge release on it with those individuals. It's gonna go across all kinds of platforms.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna
we are going to be involved with some pretty amazing opportunities, and it is, man, I'm excited to see where it goes. I really am. It's going to be a lot. It might be a lot in a short period of time. It might be a little, I don't know, but it's a pretty incredible opportunity, and I'm excited for it. So.
Yeah, and again, we always ask our partners how they feel about certain things, just for some guidance. And once again, one of our partners said, absolutely go for it. Do what you need to do, push the mission. So again, thank you to those partners that we talked about. And I'm kind of excited about this one too. Again, I'm a gearhead. I love motorsports. I love everything about them. And to have another opportunity for a whole nother genre
we haven't tapped into yet, and
it's going to be cool.
The backing that this guy has is pretty incredible. It's going to be a wild ride for about 3 years.
Yep.
And then we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a wild ride, and man, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it. The impact, the positivity, the amount of people that could be affected.
Right. Yeah,
is far more than you or I had ever thought about.
And to see the potential for the growth into another side of motorsports. Right. That potential is unknown, unlimited, right? And again, with other partners you already have in place, who knows? Who knows, man? That's all I can say. Who knows? I'm just excited that, we've had the approval of some partners and yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready too. So, that was Lex June just texting in, wanting to know if there's any updates. So Lex, we'll talk to you here in just a minute when I get off of this stream real quick. I forgot where we were. We were talking about partnerships. And moving forward.
Hike. We need to mention it again. Need to mention one more time before we quit.
And right here.
Hike. Go to save22.vet. Sign up for the hike. Even if you're only going to stand around and do nothing, please sign up for the hike so we have a good number. And a lot of this is for the insurance side of the business. It's is.
For the insurance.
We have to have the release of liability and things like that. So again, 10 years. 10 years.
10 years. 10 years we have been a nonprofit. 9.5 that I've been actively involved.
10 years.
So 5 years, again, 6 years that I've been really involved.
Yep. If you're on socials, please share the hike info. I pinned it to the top of the page before we jumped on. So it's literally right at the top of the page on Save 22 on our Facebook. And again, thank you for an incredible 10 years. I am really excited about the rest of this year and to see what lines up for next year.
This is going to be crazy.
I think there are going to be so many opportunities for veterans, first responders, and more importantly, their families,
Right.
that we are going to be able to do, I hope, a lot more. And we're going to need volunteers. We're going to need people that know. We're going to need help. We are.
We are. We need
So
help.
if
We
you,
need
if you
help.
really want to help and you're able to, and you're around a track or you're around a car show that we go to, or you're around whatever we're doing, encourage you, step up and talk to one of us. You know, one of the people that know Save 22, step up and talk. You may find out that there's something little you can do that, you know, you didn't think about. We had a nice lady, friend of yours, step up and say, hey, you know what? I can help out a little bit. You want me to go ahead and handle like your info email where all your email comes in and I can distribute to whoever needs?
Yeah.
You would do that? Well, yeah. Perfect. Right? And it's something simple as that, right? She might spend an hour,
Simple.
who knows, doing what she does. Who knows?
But it's off my plate. It's off your plate. I don't have to
It's
think
off
about
of
that
our
info
plates.
email anymore.
Yeah, it's off everybody's plate now. Now we have an individual who reads it and says, okay, I know this goes to John and Albert. I know this goes to Jay. I know this goes to Tom. And she just does it, right? So again, those types of people are all through the organization. They are. We've got people that do things for us that don't ever want mentioned. They just do. Dave Miller, rest his soul. He was one of those. Dude set up communications for every hike we ever had. He donated out of his communications for us, so we have them.
I met Dave's brother.
Yep. Never wanted any recognition. Never wanted anything. Dave just wanted to be Dave Miller. I'm the Marine. I'm going to stand back here. I'll support you guys. You know, those are the types of people that I'm glad we have around, and I hope we can get more of those people.
What was it that you said to me or a month ago when I had my little, or 2 weeks ago, whenever that little thing was, meeting them where they're at, right?
Yeah.
So taking individuals and ourselves, what are we good at, right?
Yeah.
What can we do, and how can we contribute?
Right.
Not trying to go over what you can provide or handle. I'm incredibly guilty of that, right? Because I never said no to anything. I'll do it. And I was typically successful in my life. That one hammered me.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yep.
And that's okay. When we made that call and said, look, here's where I'm struggling. I don't know how to do these things.
Yep.
You guys are talking all this stuff. I don't know what it means, and I get mad and frustrated, and then I can't find it, and I don't know what I'm doing. I've tried to learn. It's not working for me. I gave it my best shot. I'm gonna back down and do this instead. Please do. Don't leave. Right?
Yeah.
Don't leave. Don't leave. Do your thing this way. This is what you're good at. Please do it. Okay.
Right.
All right. I'll let somebody else handle the other stuff. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm doing what works for me. Who's that?
Right. It's my daughter walking in. It was unusual to hear a door open at this time, but apparently she snuck out for coffee and didn't ask Dad.
Well, no, Dad's doing his stuff. Karen says it takes a village, 10 years getting stronger and stronger. Thank you both for everything. That's from Steve. Steve, all we're doing is making ourselves available, bro.
Yep.
That's it. Our motto is, if you're struggling, let's talk about it. So Albert and I come on here when we can and we talk about it.
Yep.
That's literally all we're doing, guys.
Yep. And back to your point just a second ago, managing expectations too is another struggle, right? Because your expectations for where you want things to be, and we've had this conversation, where you want things to be, where you expect them to be, and our availability is different than other people's availability. So meeting them where they're at is as simple as talking about your friend that's offered to jump in and take care of the email, right? She was pretty clear. Like, I can do that. I have X amount of town. I'm going to take care, X amount of time. I'm going to take care of it. And that's what I'll do. That's what I can do. Right. And our expectation is, okay, well, she's going to do this, this, this. No, it's not what she said.
Stop. She said she's
Yep.
going to check the email.
Yep. And again, it's slowing down.
Right. Can you coordinate this event? Hey, I'll reach out to you. Here's the
Yep.
contact. Can you coordinate this event so I don't have to?
Yep.
I could probably do that. Okay, try. And if you need help, ask me. But I don't want to run it. I don't want to run.
And
that's it.
That's what I was trying, when we had our conversation.
One second, we have to say hello to Whiskey Pete over there. Our Marine brother Pete Dohar decided to join us today. Thank you very much for jumping in. Pete texted me over the weekend. We weren't able to make it. So Pete, thanks for coming, stopping in and saying hello. Pete's another
Morning,
musician. Pete would have a good conversation with Jonathan, I think, with songwriting and the stuff that Jonathan does. Pete, you and I are going to hook up pretty soon.
We need to get him. We need to get him hooked up with the songwriting.
Yeah.
And Chuck Hooks has some good info on that as well. So we'll make sure to get with Pete. I'll get you the information, and we can at least pass it on. And again, it's a tool for him to use however he likes.
Absolutely. Well, you and I wanted to keep this at an hour. We're going on an hour and 40 minutes right now. So let's one more time. May 3rd, Massillon, Ohio. There's the hike. Save22.vet right at the bottom. Go in, register, share it with your friends. We put flyers up somewhere.
They're everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, they're going some places. Still looking for some sponsorship, guys. Still need some money. So help us out. This thing is not free, right? And the stuff that we do is not free either. So look, if you can't help us out, please, by all means do. Every $10, $20 helps out. All the monies go to our programs, right?
Yep.
None of us take a paycheck. We're all volunteers. We donate our time and our efforts.
In our last audit, I think we were like 94.7% of our monies went directly back to programs, veterans, first responders, and their families. That other little 5-6%, that's for all insurance, taxes, mailers, stuff we have to do. Programs we have to buy, pay the accountant.
Yep. Right? Tags for the truck, tags for the trailer, right? Insurance, those kind of things.
Yep.
Yeah. So hey, I think we should stop. I think we've done great. I think
hike shirts.
Right. Save22.vet, right? Order your shirts, register for the hike. You don't have to do the hike. I want you guys to know you don't have to do the hike. Just register that says you came out, right? That's how we're tracking our stuff.
Yep.
It's gotten that's it. That's all we're doing. I think we're gonna have a registration set up and a bracelet. I don't know. I haven't talked to them about that recently, but that's on our agenda.
Yeah, the online registration is much simpler. You literally show up, you say, "Hey, I'm Albert Wooden." The volunteer will look down, cross your name off, give you a bracelet that says that you're good to go, and you're good to go. If you don't do that, you have to show up, physically fill out a form in person, wait, and just do it that way. Either way is pretty simple, pretty quick, but online is the better way to go, honestly, because it'll be much quicker.
Much, much quicker. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, our average view duration is 22 minutes of our analytics. So and it's been going steadily up. It's probably going to say 22 here in just a second.
Love it.
I'm gonna let that go. An hour and 45 today. Thanks for bearing with us at the beginning with the technical difficulties. A lot got shared today. I really wish we could have got Dave and Mark on. We will get them on very soon, and we'll share some pictures and some stories and some people. And you know what? Maybe some of the guys we were down at Countersteer with would be willing to come on and talk about their experience down at Countersteer and what it did for them. And that's all we're talking about here, guys, is get out of your house, right? Get out of your safe spot where you're angry and upset all the time, and allow yourself to have an open mind and go experience something. You might just learn something. You really might. You might learn something about yourself. And that's some scary shit. And that's okay. That's okay. Really, it is. It's okay to learn about yourself because it's going to make you better. And that's all we're asking for, right? You to be better. There is no normal. There is no normal. Okay, there's just life, guys. It's just your life and your story.
Yep. And your strength is your story. So
Strength is your
when you
story.
are
Thank you,
ready,
Hacker.
yeah, when you are ready, share that story. You know,
Share it, please.
it'll be tough the first few times, maybe a dozen times, maybe 2 dozen. Everybody's different, but
Everybody, look, guys, we all have been there, right? I couldn't get through my AA stories right off the bat, right? I embarrassed, beaten, defeated. We talked about this before. Somebody had said, you know, you didn't get defeated by a bottle. You lost a bunch of battles, but you won the war, right? Because I've been alcohol free longer than I drank.
right,
So I won the war, right? I won the war. I've been sober longer than I've been not sober, right? That's a difference. So does your thinking change? No,
yeah.
no.
I was just
I'm still ridiculously hard on myself.
yeah,
Who was it this time?
just an individual that we were working with,
Were
and
we just
he's
talking about it?
yeah, and he just texted, you know, every day, like day by day, day by day,
Day by
you
day,
know,
bro. You know what? When I got through AA, sometimes I had one guy tell me, "Look, man, if you need to just tell yourself to not drink for the next hour, the next minute, or the next second, then you fucking do it. Don't drink for the next 1 minute and look at your clock and watch
right,
and go, look, I didn't drink for this minute. That I did what I said I was going to do. You know what? I'm not going to drink for 5 minutes now. I'm going to give it five. You know what? I did just 6 minutes total now. You got to celebrate that stuff, guys. You have to celebrate those small victories. So give
yep,
yourself some credit. Um, don't beat yourself up too much. I'm pouring out the last of the coffee here because God knows I need more caffeine. Not really.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have. All right. Mom just texted Albert. Real mom, birth mom, Yvonne, mom.
yeah,
80 years old in 11 days. And my 80-year-old mother sits and watches Tuesday Talk on YouTube at her home. And I couldn't be more grateful that my mother still watches my shows. So thank you to mom. My mom just said, good show. I always love listening to you guys. I always feel better after listening to you guys. So, mom, I don't know what we could have done for you to make you feel better, but I'm glad we did it. And I don't know where my screen just went. It all
yeah.
just went blank.
Don't over. I can still see you, bro. You're good.
Okay. I'm going to try to not click out of everything and close down my stuff. I
Right.
have no idea what just happened.
No, I can still see and hear you, so you're good. But
No, it's gone, bro. It's
okay,
gone. The
well,
window's not open.
that'll be it then.
That's a wonderful thing. So, we're going to transfer over to Albert. I think he's on that side. I'm not
Yep.
sure. Albert's going to shut us down for the day. Thank you very much, Josh. I still haven't figured out how to use those openers and closers that you sent me. Someday I will. We will talk to you all later. Albert, please take us out.
Yeah. All I can say is, you know, hopefully y'all find a way to slow down. Y'all find a way to use those tools and listen for those whispers. That's what I'll leave you with. See y'all later.